Welcome back, everybody. A&M Homestead. Really appreciate everybody just putting up with us, not being able to put a video out for about 3 weeks. We've been busy working. We've been putting in a little bit of overtime, and so we've been neglecting uploading videos to YouTube. So just thank you for being patient with us. Today we have got a monumental, huge project today, and we're just ready to address basically the elephant in the garden. We've got a serious amount of weeds in here. We're actually going to put 2 beds, going to put them to rest, and maybe even a third one possibly, not sure yet. We do have a lot of work to do, so we're just going to get to cleaning it all up. It's an absolute mess. We haven't had a whole lot of time at all, plus we've got a lot of rain, which as we really need it. I'm not complaining. So we're just going to get to it. So come along on our journey. Make sure you put a thumbs up. So this is the well that is on our property. It is actually hooked up to our pond, so it's actually a pretty good deal for us. So we can use free water without having to use our city water that we have out here. So we really like that aspect of it. Plus, you know, it does have a lot more beneficial things in it than what the city water does for the plants. So that's what we like using. I just have a submersible pump that goes down in there and pushes us out to the irrigation system. So it's pretty good, sweet setup. I like it. So let's continue on. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually taking apart the front right here with the irrigation line, and we're actually going to take out the drip tape that's on this front row. That's an absolute disaster. We're gonna pull everything out. We're done with this bed, and I don't know, we'll get prepared for fall planting. So what I gotta do is I've already unhooked the front, and now I'm gonna go right where the side main lines connect. I'm gonna actually disconnect the drip tape for the rows, and I'm gonna pull those out and roll those up, so that way we can continue to use those. So you do that every year, you know, they'll last a lot longer. So, all right, let me get to it. Okay, so Marcia is pulling out the irrigation. Marcia, wave. Hi. And she's going to wind all those up and put those in the seed shed. And so I'm going to fire up the tractor and I'm going to mow. I'm going to burr it. Give it a really short haircut because we are tired of the weeds. So I'm going to get with that. She's got her little project and we've got a lot to do. Okay, right now Marcia is just clipping off some of the good broccoli leaves, right? The broccoli leaves. And she did cut off some of the florets. Is that what they're called, florets? The small ones? Yeah. And so I'm gonna get the old weed whipper out and I'm gonna weedy all this down except for right here where these flowers are. I don't know if you could see those or not. But, that's for arugula, correct? Yeah. And she wants to save the seeds on them, which I love arugula. She does too. So she's going to save the seeds on those, but I'm going to get the weed whacker out and take care of this, and then the next row we'll just go from there. But we got a lot of weeding to do, as you can tell. We're really good at growing weeds. I tell you what, there was so much going on and back behind the scenes that I just wasn't able to video everything. What we did was we went ahead and we cleared out the first row, which did have the cabbage, broccoli, and hopefully I got something of that and I'll put that in there. But we are actually going to keep some of the lettuce that we did have. We're going to let it go ahead and let it bolt and just let it seed itself for next year. We actually did have some sweet peas, or sugar snaps, that we're letting them go ahead and harden up, so that way we have seeds for next year. And also Marcia's cilantro that she put out here, I went ahead and weed eated. I don't know how much of that I got, but weed eated, and she wanted to keep that. She wants it to go to seeds, so that way we have more for next year. Also, we did plant some asparagus. There's just a little bit there, but I weeded around it. Marcia went ahead and pulled weeds by hand, and that way we can have that in the future. So we planted them this year, actually, in 2022. So looking forward to that, see what we got with that. Our zucchini, as you saw, it was not the greatest. We lost 2 of them, definitely, to the squash borer, or whatever you want to call it. But the one that we did save, it's not the greatest. It's probably not going to make it. So we're actually thinking about possibly starting more mounds for the zucchinis, just due to we have enough time to be able to do that before we get really busy and start working a lot of hours. So the tomatoes, you saw, they're doing really good. I'm really impressed with them, how well they're doing, considering how bad they looked at the beginning of the season. The corn looks really good. And also the cucumbers. We've been collecting a lot of cucumbers, and Marcia has been canning those. Actually, it's just a hot water bath on those. And so I'm impressed how much we have got for as small as plants as we have this year. We have done so much this year, and I'm really thankful for that. The sunflowers, as you saw, they're absolutely exploding, and we're going to use those for kind of like for chickens. We could put those out there during the winter time when they need the protein the most. The sunflower oil is really good for chickens, and it'll just help them out during winter time, and also help us out or feed cost wise. So the borage looks absolutely amazing. I love the borage. The black beans, they are doing really good, and I'm pretty impressed with them. They're blooming out like no other. I really like their blooms. We also have the Kentucky pole beans. They are growing up on the corn and up on the trellises as predicted. The potatoes, they seem like they're getting pretty close. We're starting to think right now, probably about another week. We do have a couple blooms left that we are probably going to keep the water on for them as far as the irrigation goes for like another week. Then we're going to shut that off and just, kind of let them do their thing. And we do have 2 separate rows. It is the white onions and the purple onions. And the white onions, we actually took the irrigation off for them. We're going to be harvesting those this coming weekend. There will be a video about that. And we're also going to be possibly harvesting the beets that are in the red onions row, which, as we do have the irrigation still on that. So that will be an upcoming video for those. The pumpkins, they're just absolutely exploding. Nothing really to say about them. They're just doing amazing. The squash, they're just climbing like they're supposed to be. And hopefully this year we'll be able to actually stay on top of everything that's going on, that we could train them up and they'll be able to crawl all the way up the trellis, and hopefully they'll be able to meet in the middle and just create some shade there. It'll be kind of neat looking. The sweet potatoes are doing really good. We're trying to really train them up so that way they don't scatter everywhere. We don't want them in the walking rows to where it's really hard to walk around them. We're getting so close to harvesting the onions, we don't want them to be in the way. So we're just training them up to keep them in a straight row, and we're just going to go from there, and hopefully we'll have a really good harvest this year. You know, your average sweet potato plant will produce anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds of sweet potatoes per plant that you planted. So if I can remember, I think we planted about 5 plants, maybe 6. So we should get around about 30 to 40 pounds, hopefully, of sweet potatoes. So I don't know if they'll be as good as last year, but that'll be another video for this fall. We got some time to go. It's pretty early. So the carrots that we have here, there's not very many of them. This year was just like a practice run. We wanted to see if we could actually grow carrots. And you saw in the previous video with the carrots and garlic, we did kind of like a test run to see what we had as far as carrots. And it was absolutely amazing. We could not believe that we could actually grow carrots in this soil. It's mostly all clay. It's really compact. I tell you what, there's been so much going on right now with us working a lot of hours right now, and just us with trying to get the garden all situated, actually trying to get it weed free. It's never going to happen, but we did the best we could with the time that we had, and it actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So hopefully y'all can see a difference in it, but I will let you know that coming up the next video, possibly the next video, you might see something a little bit different. I'm getting some added stuff for the camera. Hopefully it'll make a difference. So yeah, I'm just ready to up the game a little bit. Y'all just help me out. Tell me what you think. So till next time, talk to y'all later.